Welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of our coverage here at Chronochord Gaming of Grand Theft Auto 5 Online Heist DLC. I am C-Dub, joined here today by my co-host, JC. JC, it looks like we have hacked in to the security camera feed of the Fleeca Bank to scope it out.
Hey, what's good, brother? Yeah, we're here with Lester and our partner ProX2 Skills, scoping out the joint, trying to see what the security feed is showing us. We got a good view inside of the reception area, the teller, and also further back into the vault area, so we know exactly where we need to go. I think now we're going to head back to the apartment with Lester and ProX2 Skills, but first, we must figure out this circuit breaker mini game. I am in control of our character here. Kind of a cool addition to the online heists.
Absolutely. That adds that extra element of planning and multiple tasks. You know, it's not just so simple as brute force, just going in there and busting the place down. We're going to have to use a little bit of finesse and get through these 3 locks here in their security system before we can enter. And we are going to be doing that in the form of this mini game where we have to direct this line. JC, this is kind of reminiscent of the old Snake game for mobile phones.
Yeah, it is, Corey. That's really going back quite a few years. I think that's prior to flip phones coming out even. That's a long time ago, man. But these mini games being added on to the heist missions, you know, nothing too difficult. It's always a better alternative than just having one button to press on your controller to hack into something or to open something. You got to make it a little challenging. Kind of reminds me of some other like hacking type mini games and some other titles I played over the past few years, including Deus Ex Human Revolution. That's a great game. This also reminds me of the hacking in the story mode, I believe. There is a mission that we undertake that incorporates that.
Yeah, actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's the Bureau Raid. It's where we actually go in story mode, single player, and you go to the FIB building and you set off a series of bombs. And yeah, there's actually, it's sort of similar to the minigame we saw here in that it serves that same purpose, as it's just not hitting a button to open it up. You have to put a little bit of work into it. It looks like now we're going to be heading off to Lester's factory.
Yeah, we're going to reconvene over there with the crew and see what our next step in our heist mission is. The car is not in great shape. ProX2 Skills, your driving's gotten better, man, but you got to protect Lester's car.
Yeah, I mean, Lester's going to have to pay even more money to his insurance company after this is done. Nevertheless, it looks like Paige is here. We're gonna hop into this Granger with Lester and the rest of the crew. Where are we off to? It looks like we're taking off to the garage, JC.
Come on, back to your place.
Yep, we're heading back to the apartment, guys. We will see you when we get there. We have arrived at the apartment garage.
Yup, here we go. We're gonna have to, of course, go up the elevator. Man, this place must be pretty expensive, the monthly rent.
Hey, alright. Mission passed. So, going to scope out the bank is its own mission. Getting some very important experience points here. And it looks like we will continue to do some heist planning with Lester, ProX2 Skills, and Lester's assistant.
It looks like Paige is helping us carry some gear that we're gonna need to prepare further for this heist mission. Let's see what kind of stuff she's got here.
Yeah, I think it said explosives on that container, so we gotta have a lot of caution here.
Oh boy, we don't want this to go boom right in our faces. Not yet. We're gonna have to use these explosives, I believe, perhaps to complete our mission, pull off this heist. Man, there is a lot of setup that's going into this, but I kind of like it like that. I mean, if you really want to get a big score, you should have to prepare quite a lot. and do it smartly as Lester is laying out before us the mission here.
Yeah, this is essentially a continued tutorial about how to execute the heists, how to assemble your crew. There is a crew leader who has to fork up the money to fund the heist initially, and apparently that person is not allowed to make money off the setup missions. That's okay though, because in the end I feel like we're going to be in store for a big payday.
Oh, I certainly hope so. If all goes to plan, I think everybody in the crew here is going to be in store for a serious financial windfall. As Lester is walking us through some more steps we're going to have to take here. Looks like we're off again.
Taking a peek on the board there real quick, looks like we're going to be heading out to get a getaway car for the heist. Also, like I just mentioned, the leader of the group has to cover the cost of the buy-in for paying the other players and equipment, and you must complete all the setup missions prior to that final heist. Here is where we will be storing all the gear and the clothing we will be using. And once they are used, they will be destroyed, Corey.
Yep, we're going to have to get rid of those. Not sure if we'll use the incineration method or what we'll do. Right now, as it's telling us here, we're going to have to be careful about who we choose for our heist missions. We're going to have to make sure that we can work as a cohesive unit to pull this off. Let's go ahead and get into the next step of preparations. We're going to have to steal this car. It looks like Pro X2 Skills has joined in once again. He's been pretty good thus far. Driving's a little bit questionable, but hey, it'll work. It looks like we're ready. We're going to have to get outfitted here, JC.
Yeah, time to pick our duds. Not really digging the street look right now. Not into that gangster vibe per se. I'm more of a business type. Maybe a suit. Maybe save the suit for the final mission. Keep it professional. And for this one, maybe we'll go with something more casual. Looking for some leather jacket action. Something, that'll do right there. Let's go with that, Corey.
That'll work. Let's go ahead and roll out here. As we exit our apartment, we are on our way to the next stage of the setup. We're going to have to hop in the car here, make our way to a parking garage where we're going to have to steal this Kuruma, which I believe is an armored vehicle. That's going to be essential for this heist.
Yeah, having a car with that extra protection will be a necessity for robbing this bank. I have a feeling that when we get out of there, it's going to be a lot of cops, possibly SWAT team, possibly some army waiting for us, and they're not going to let us get away that easy. We are pretty close to Fort Zancudo up there, so we're going to have to beware as we're exiting the bank.
Yeah, hopefully they don't attempt an aerial takedown, get out the old whirly bird on us and try to chase us down. I think as long as we have this Kuruma, which is going to be armored, I'm sure it's fast as well. I think we're going to be just fine as far as our getaway. But first, we're going to have to steal this thing. I don't believe that this rival crew that we're going to have to go steal it from, as Lester told us, I don't think they're going to give it up too easy.
I don't think so, C-Dub. We're going to have a Korean gang hanging out in a parking garage with all eyes on that vehicle. They must have a notion of to what's up. Now, Lester did specifically tell us that using this vehicle will link the robbery back to the Korean gang, therefore washing our hands clean of any evidence that could possibly implicate us in this heist.
Yep.
Now we're gonna head back into the garage. Was doing a little circle around the location just to make sure there's not any other entrances besides the two that we were told we could use. Gonna hit the lights on the car here and make our way kind of slowly up the parking garage ramp. Maybe these guys can hear the engine revving, who knows? Who knows if they're even expecting us to come and try to steal this car.
They may not be expecting us, JC, but they're about to have hell unleashed on them. We are gonna get this car. Looks like we have located it. We're here at the top floor. This seems to be a pretty good position strategically that we're at. We can maybe take cover behind this wall.
Now, Lester suggested that we put on our masks to conceal our identity. It looks like Pro X2 Skills has done so. I have not, because frankly, who are we afraid of here in GTA 5 Online? This Korean gang has nothing on us, Corey.
No way, man. They're not going to be able to stop this crew. We are going to have to use caution as far as our weapon choice in this mission. Obviously, we cannot use any explosives, and it would probably not be a very wise decision to use a shotgun of any kind due to the trajectory of the round. It really spreads out, and we may blow up this car. Even though it is armored, we don't want to damage it in any way. We got to bring this thing back pristine and store it at Lester's factory.
Good words of wisdom there, C-Dub. We must protect this car at all costs. I know you had an unfortunate experience in your first go-around, and the car did blow up. You failed the mission. That's the way it goes sometimes. We have acquired the Kuruma from the Korean gang, and now we are en route back to Lester's factory. Like an idiot, I parked my car right in the way, and we were able to get around it. There's no bad guys following us just yet. Damaging the vehicle will reduce the cash earned for this setup, so we must be careful. Pro X2 Skills, I hope you saw that too, and guess you didn't.
That's okay. These things happen in these getaways. This certainly wasn't a voluntary gift on the part of the rival Korean heist crew. So we're going to have to make our getaway back to Lester's factory here. And it looks like we are riding shotgun, and so we're going to have to do some shooting and keep these guys off of our Sixer. Pro X2 Skills makes the getaway.
Yep, I've got the Uzi trying to take out some of these guys on our tail. Maybe I can hit a few. Usually what I do is go for the driver first, because if you get him, the car obviously cannot go any further. Another method is to aim for the tires, because once you pop those bad boys, these cars have no chance of pursuit. But really, are we worried? Because this is an armored car. I don't think they're going to make much of a dent in it.
Not a chance. This thing has got plenty of armor. We're going to be able to escape these guys. And I'm certain that this will do just fine for our heist of the Fleeca Bank. We're going to have to get away. Pro X2 Skills, you did pretty good there, buddy. You're going to have to really show off those skills in our next video, where we are going to strike the Fleeca Bank. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here in part 2 of our GTA 5 online heist playthrough. Be sure to check out all of our original instrumental music at chronochord.com, and stay tuned, because in the next part, it's payday. For my co-host, JC, this is C-Dub. We are Chronochord Gaming. See you in Los Santos.